Hey guys, it's David again. I'm guilty, but I've been told I've been slacking. And I've been slacking on updating my followers on my driving status, which has been something on my to-do list. I just haven't made it a priority until I got enough people asking about it. So I'm going to update everyone so I don't get asked about it every time I'm in Walmart or Quick Shop or Casey's because it's a lot to explain and a lot of people ask for it. So this is the update on my driving status. I've been going through vocational rehab, and they're the ones that have been funding my training. Let me back up. When I first started, there's a place called Avenues Driving Rehabilitation in Overland Park. They're the only place in Kansas that adapts vehicles for people with disabilities and does the assessments and the training and all that stuff. The assessment itself was almost $500. It's $90 per training hour, and I think I've used almost 16. So vocational rehab has been the ones that have been funding my hotel stay for Overland Park, all my training hours, my assessment, even childcare. So they've been hooking it up a lot more than I can even imagine. So after a bunch of trial and error and a bunch of trips to Overland Park, we finally found a system that's going to work, which I've shared on Facebook in the past. Y'all have probably seen that. If not, it's on my videos on David Powell's speaking page. But that was our process in itself. So we know what we have to do. It's $17,000 to put everything on and the installation and whatnot. And my car's worth $9,000, so it's pretty expensive. We have reached out to vocational rehab is going to pay $9,000 of it. We've reached out to the Association of Cerebral Palsy. They're paying $1,000 of it. We've also reached out to Friends of Man, which is in Colorado, and their application was very, very lengthy because they contribute a good amount. The application, that was an obstacle in itself, getting all the documentation, getting it all submitted to them. We finally got it done. We haven't got an amount that they're going to contribute, but they have already reached out to my doctor, who called, and we had to schedule an evaluation to check the status on the longevity of my life. So I'm assuming they're gonna assist. They want to make sure I'm not going to die tomorrow or something like that, so they're not throwing their money away. But we're waiting on, I guess, the status and how much they're going to contribute to that. And so Voc Rehab is paying $9,000. Cerebral Palsy Association is paying $1,000. So that's $10,000. We're $7,000 short, and we're hoping, God willing, that Friends of Man is going to help out the rest. And I'm getting distracted here with everybody watching. How's it going, Ruth? Just met you today. Glad you're tuning in. Ruth's a great person, guys. I see Lessa. I see Mr. Toddler Duck. Napanese Towery. Thank you for joining, guys. Thanks for following me, period. I have on my speaking page, I think, almost 2,500 followers. So that in itself, I really appreciate y'all's support and you being concerned about what I share. I apologize, and Ruth will agree with me. She's the one that brought it to my attention. I need to update you guys so I'm not stopped 10 times a day and having to explain this to everyone. So I'm going to hang out for a second, see if anybody has any more questions about anything going on. You know it, Ruth. And I messaged you. I know you already know that, but get back to me tomorrow on what you think. What's up, Bob? Miss Tammy, how's it going? And people who's just now starting to follow, I'm not going to re-explain everything, but when the video is posted, please go watch it. Yeah, Chris, they do so much more than I would even imagined. They go above and beyond, that's for sure. So they're great people. The sad part about it is no one's ever heard of Voc Rehab. Like before I started working at my job, Independent Connection, I had no idea who they were, what they did. And they're capable of so much stuff to eliminate barriers and help people not only with actually you do have to be disabled in some way or another to be with Voc Rehab, but they assist in more ways than you can ever imagine with overcoming barriers as far as employment goes. They want to see you get a job, and they also want to see you maintain the job. So if transportation is an issue, They, of course, want to make sure you've exhausted all options, and if you have and it's still a barrier, I've heard of them assisting people buying vehicles. Not brand new, but I think it's $3,500 they put towards buying a vehicle if you've exhausted all your options within like the public transportation systems and that kind of thing. I know one factor that's been helping me out with this is with my job, our privacy practices are very strict. We follow HIPAA. So I can't have a driver from OCCK or anywhere drop me off at a consumer's house to do not an assessment, but to have a meeting to discuss goals or whatnot. Now, I've been going to the library sometimes, like in Abilene. Actually, that's the only place I've been is Abilene. But there's some people that can't actually get to the library, and I would have to actually go to their house. But because of HIPAA, we can't do that. So that's kind of working in my favor because I can't use public transportation. There are no really other options other than me getting myself to the consumer's house. So that's kind of been working in my favor as far as to Voc Rehab taking the steps that they've been taking. So, what's up, Dana? What's up, Mr. Severson? And I know some of you guys are kind of late, but I've just been updating everyone on my driving situation. That's going to take another 5 or 10 minutes to explain, and I got to sleep sometimes. So I encourage you to go watch the video again. I'm going to post it on YouTube. I'm going to post this one on here, and this is probably going to be too long for Instagram and Twitter and all that. But just to remind you guys, my Facebook page, this is my personal page. My speaking page is David Powell Speaking on Facebook, and if you haven't went to follow that or liked it yet, please do so. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at allthumbs 2004. That's ALLTHUMBS 2004. My YouTube channel is David Powell Speaking. My LinkedIn is David Powell. And my email address, as of now, it's going to be changing soon. I'm waiting till my business cards run out with what I currently have. But my email is allthumbs2004@gmail.com. And that's going to eventually turn into davidpowellspeaking@gmail.com. And I also have a website, which is davidpowellspeaking.com. It's still visible, but that is under construction with some of the presentations that I offer. I still offer some of those, not all of them, and there's also some new ones that I have to put on there. So give me a few weeks, and I'm going to get with my website guy, and we're going to get that updated. Connor, if you're watching, you're going to get a text here soon. So I'll give you a heads up. And if you don't know who Connor is, his name's Connor Jensen. He's a great web designer that I've used ever since I started my website. Never had any issues with him or anything. So if you want to go follow him, check him out. It's Connor Jansen. I want to say it's Janzen. I'll probably go share his page here in a little bit after this video. So if we have any last minute questions, I'm hanging out for a second, but the following is dwindling down. So I'm feeling people are getting the point here. Hey, Janet. We have any questions before I cut it off? Going once, going twice. Well, that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And again, thanks for following me as I continue my journey, guys. Have a good night. Bye.